Before I get started, I want to give a shout out to all of the paying members of my Patreon channel. Your support is necessary, and without you, none of this is possible. I also like to give a special shout out to Sean for his support of the channel, and Mikey Rowland for the $40 donation.
Woo! 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 Ow! Love that money!
And if you'd like to support the channel directly, Cash App and PayPal are available. Just be sure to let me know in the For section if it's okay for me to thank you publicly, or else I'll assume you'll want to remain anonymous.
Hey y'all, it's Shakari, and more than anything, definitely a lot of self-reflection, a lot of understanding of not only putting myself in a compromised situation, but somebody that I have a deep care and appreciation for as well is something that holding myself accountable. I see myself, I'm taking this time to not only see myself, but get myself a certain level of help that overall is going to reflect who I truly am in my heart and my spirit, and not allowing this moment, but accepting this moment to be more. And so my only thing is I want to be more, not even just for myself, for my family, for my fans, and overly appreciate y'all supporting me and showing up and even holding me accountable to being my best self. So more than anything, I refuse to run away, but not refuse to run, but I refuse to run away, but face everything that comes to me head on, because everything on the other side is greater, but you got to go through in order to get there. So I'm Shakari, y'all. I appreciate y'all, and one love, much love, and y'all be blessed.
Okay, so now we got to talk about this thing with Sha'Carri Richardson.
Oh, gosh.
So 2 weeks ago, she was arrested at the airport, assaulting her boyfriend. I forget the young man's name, but I saw the video. And she was pushing him. She threw her headphones at him, like she was cussing him out. And he just looked like he just wanted to get away from her.
Right.
It's like he was, and kudos to him, like he was very self-aware of where he was and whom he was.
Right.
Because
he's an Olympian also. He's Christian Coleman.
Right. But also being, a black male, it's not a good look to be beating up a little girl. And Sha'Carri Richardson is a very, very petite person. She's teeny.
Yes.
Okay.
And she's 5'1".
Yeah. So she's a teeny little thing. And he was wise not to, respond to what she was doing. But so that was 2 weeks ago, and we hadn't heard anything from her in those 2 weeks until I think yesterday she put out something in her stories on Instagram where she issued a statement in response to the video. Okay, now after having looked at that response, I thought it was very, very scripted, very controlled.
Yep.
Obviously, this was written either by her or her PR team or both.
Yep.
And as you can tell, this was something that she practiced and rehearsed, that she's kind of putting on a performance. And I kind of like the fact that she delivers it well and she is smiling. And she's a cute little creature. And so it works.
Stop. What do you mean by that?
And before you leave me any hateful comments, people, I mean that as a compliment. I think Sha'Carri Richardson is absolutely adorable. You almost want to root for her.
Right.
But I put on my thinking cap and I think to myself, the timing of this is all weird.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't put out the statement after you were arrested.
Right.
You waited until the video came out and went viral to say something.
Yeah.
And so I don't get the impression that she's genuinely sorry. I know that in track and field, you're pretty much, you're paid by your sponsors. You don't get a salary necessary for showing up to events.
Yep.
And so she has to impress Nike and Gatorade. I don't know who else she signed to, but she has to protect that check and go back out there and clean up her image. So to me, this apology is not so much to Christian Coleman, not so much to us in the public, but it's more or less her trying to save face and, stop the bleeding. She's trying to put out a fire, essentially, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But from a personal note, I'm really shocked and disappointed by this because I really thought she had turned over a new leaf.
Yeah.
4 years ago, I was on her case because she was locked in this. She was crashing out 4 years ago.
Yeah, definitely.
She was supposed to be in the 2020 Olympics or 2021 Olympics.
Right.
And she tested positive for marijuana.
Yep.
Then she did that god-awful interview. I think it was on NBC. She did the morning news circuit and she didn't look good there.
To my fans, my family, my sponsorship, and the haters, I greatly apologize.
She was uncomfortable and robotic. And I remember after the Olympics ended, they had a track meet where all the Jamaican girls who I think medaled, she raced against them.
Yep.
And they blew her out of the water. I think she finished like second or third from last. She just looked bad.
Yep. Oh, yeah, it was terrible.
She looked bad and slow. And then after she lost, she gave that terrible interview.
This is one race. I'm not done. You know what I'm capable of. Count me out if you want to. Talk all you want. Because I'm here to stay. I'm not done. I'm the sixth fastest woman in this game ever.
And she looked terrible. She looked like a sore loser. Then she was retweeting and liking crazy stuff on Twitter that people were calling her out for. And I remember her posting a video on Instagram, or was it on one of her Instagram stories, where she was essentially telling the reporters who she had many run-ins with to essentially eat her.
Ew. That's lovely.
Yeah. I hope I can get that across on YouTube without getting in trouble.
I'm gonna hit you with this wet one. Yeah, right in the middle of your head.
I would say kiss my ass, but y'all can't afford it.
But yeah. So she was crashing out. But I think that her rock bottom for her was when she got kicked off of that flight.
Yeah.
And when she was getting up to leave and everybody knew she was leaving, they were all clapping.
So bad, but you don't understand having integrity and being a decent person. You saw that, right?
I saw you making a video.
Okay. It was a video of my face and he jumped in it. But it's a video and y'all see it on social media because y'all have no idea who I am. So, okay, but it will. Bye-bye. And you're fat. What the fuck?
And I think she saw that and said, whoa, self-awareness at an all-time low here. I'm losing my career.
Yeah.
And so I applauded her because from that point forward, maybe she hired a team or maybe she started listening to someone and she stopped doing the stupid stuff.
Exactly.
She refocused on her craft and started winning. But not only that, she also began to clean up her image. She stopped wearing like the fishnets and all that crap.
Oh, gosh, the colors.
Yeah, she looked goofy.
Clownish.
And I think that the moment that I really started to support her, it was one particular race where she snatched off that wig.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I said, I love that.
I think I remember that, yeah.
Then it was another race where she ran in her natural hair with no extensions and no weaves, and I said, I love this.
Mm-hmm.
And she was kicking all kinds of butt leading up to the Olympics. I mean, she was just slaying everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Then she went on to win gold at the 2024 Olympics in the 4x100, silver in the 100.
Mm-hmm.
And, from there, I was a fan of hers. Then she started making these cute videos with her boyfriend, and then this happens.
Right.
And I was like, wow, what the heck happened? What happened to all the work?
Girl, you were doing good.
And I'm thinking was this change authentic or was she just doing it for PR?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And I got one final point, but you can go ahead and jump in and give me your thoughts.
I was just thinking along the lines of again, like you, it's bizarre. She definitely was crashing out. Self-awareness is definitely just at an all-time low. She has opened up about the trauma that she's gone through in her life. And I think that this woman, she thrives in chaos, or she gravitates toward the chaotic moments, or she tries to capitalize and create drama. That's the only way she can, pump herself up. I've seen, athletes and stuff do that of all kinds of backgrounds, different athletes, they like in hockey, they'll start fights and, different things like that. But I think she doesn't know how to be normal. And I think, like you said, the sponsors and the people who are sitting her down and telling her she needs to straighten up and fly right, because she's going to lose all these endorsement deals. That's the only thing that's kind of shocked her back to reality and to make her kind of calm down for a while. But when you have trauma, like she said it herself, I'm not making this up, that you can't sit still for very long. You can't behave for very long. So she is squandering a lot of her talent, and she's messing up her career because she can't get get regulated long enough, because she's still dealing with demons on her back or trauma on her back. So you should have been, sat yourself down and got with a therapist to help you through it, for the sake of your career and for your fans, because they're rooting for her. They want her to do great. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of her fans that are young girls. They want to be inspired by her being stable. They're not, wanting to see her crash out, wear crazy wigs, long nails, act a fool, talk trash. The majority of the girls, they want a role model. We don't have many to begin with. I wish her the best. She's a great athlete. She just needs to calm down and figure out how she can start respecting her men. I know she's swings both ways. And I tried to see if there was something online that would show, because I've heard of her being violent to her girlfriend. And I guess the internet has scrubbed that, because I couldn't find anything on that. But this guy, Christian, what is his name again? Christian Coleman. He definitely held his own. And it's sad that the female athletes and entertainers have zero self-control, zero impulse control. But you look at their counterparts, the males, whatever genre it is, for the most part, they can keep their composure. They know what time it is, and they have situational awareness. And it is just really sad that the Black men in these industries and the entertainment business and sports, they don't get their flowers. They don't get enough recognition and praise for them holding it down and being able to represent other Black men respectively. So he did the right thing. He didn't wild out. He didn't retaliate. He could have cussed her out to everything he could think of, but he didn't. Because again, like you said, a consummate professional is going to be on his best behavior at all times. So kudos to Mr. Coleman. And seriously, I would hope he would, break up with her. This woman has tons of problems, and if she has come from a rough background, like a lot of women who is gifted with their talent and they make it big, that doesn't mean that that's going to translate to them being able to carry themselves in the proper way, in a respectable way in public and in private. People are going to get tired of these crash outs and her fake apologies, because I don't believe a word she says. I just think she knows how to suppress it long enough to keep them checks rolling in, and that's it.
Yeah, and I want to circle back to what you said. That took place in public, with people around and people that she knew were around.
Mm-hmm.
So I can only think she's, that she must be a demon in private, that she's done a lot worse than that.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for watching this chapter of the Layman's Journal. But before you go, please be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel of today's guest host. The link will be in the description as well as the upper right-hand corner of the screen. This is the Layman's Journal. I'm out.